Sorry, would I say that out loud? That's no filter
Okay.
sometimes.
I gotta say something.
Wait, is it
Hello.
recorded?
Yes. My name is Kayla Ortiz, and I'm going to be presenting my chemistry and math too, not English. Okay. So for math, I'll be starting with math. For my homework completion chart, I did complete most of the homework. This, honestly, if I did it wrong or I didn't turn it in, but I was constantly just trying to complete it and do my best, and if I couldn't understand it or didn't know what to do, I would ask classmates, I would ask you, ask Miss Morse, even ask other teachers to thoroughly understand what I'm supposed to be learning. Okay. For my assignment score chart, again, I did complete most of it. Corrections, I was a little off and on. The beginning of the semester, I didn't do as well as the end because I didn't have that motivation of wanting to learn it. And from having that, I got stressed out, so I didn't think I could learn it. And as the semester went on, I gained that confidence, and it shows in my score chart that I did achieve what I wanted to. Yes, okay. So how I improved this semester, for examples, I went to office hours, I asked questions, and I had motivation. So in our class, there was a contest. Whatever class got the highest scores on their math tests and quizzes got a pizza party, or who knows what kind of party. But that really motivated my myself to achieve that goal. I mean, who wouldn't want a party with pizza? It's food, so that really helped me out. So for the essential skill I got my lowest score on was essential skill 2, which was similarities. What I didn't understand was the basic knowing what was what and how to like name the triangle or how to do just the basic math. I just got confused and overwhelmed once the day to present or to take the test came. So to compare my quiz and test 1, I picked isosceles triangles, and for isosceles you have 2 congruent sides and angles. For my quiz, this is my quiz, I switched them. I got it wrong because I didn't understand the sides and the angles. I just got the layout confused. But for the test, I resumed myself, whatever the word is. I made that score better for that problem. I corrected what was needed to be corrected, and I thoroughly explained my answer that was needed. For quiz and test 2 that I chose, I picked almost the same problem. I couldn't find my test, but for my quiz, I couldn't find my quiz, so I just put the problem that I got wrong. But this, you can see that I did most of this problem correctly. It was just confusing because there were so many steps you had to master that I didn't understand the 2 bottom ones because I did the math wrong, and I picked the wrong number to subtract from 180. But you can see that I did master the other steps, so I feel good about the problem. I got most of it right, so I feel okay about going on to the next step of math. Okay, so to analyze my semester, my grade right now is a B-. I feel like that's okay. I mean, I would like an A, but from what I feel that I've completed this semester, I feel like that's a perfect grade for me. Math is pretty hard for, I think, everyone in certain ways, but I think I deserve that, and yeah, so time for chemistry. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about Unit 1, which is gases. So for chemistry, I'm talking about 1.A, B, C, D, and E. So for 1.A, we talk about molecules and collisions and how they're random and you don't know what's going to go on. The definition for random, which was in one of our homework packets, I answered that there's no constant pattern, so it's just all over the place and it just bounces around and you don't know where it's supposed to go. One example that we had in class for those visual learners, which is like myself, we sprayed perfume and you asked us to see how long until you smelt it. It was pretty cold in Ito's room, so didn't really go anywhere. But I was on the far side where the perfume was sprayed, so I was way over here and the perfume was here, and I never smelt it. So, I mean, it depends on if it's warm or cold, because if it's cold, then the molecules move slower, and if it's warm, then it's just all over the place. So for 1.B, we talked about how the gas law between pressure, temperature, and volume. And for this, we learned how to solve equations with V1, 2, P1 and 2, and T1 and 2. And as you can see, we had to read the question, label the certain numbers or such as that, and you had to put it in an equation. So first you would put this equation, find out what you're looking for, and then put that into this. You would do the problem. What I did wrong was I put a 3 instead of a 5, which was a basic mistake. But then you solve the problem, and you have to put the answer, the question in an answer. So if you're trying to look for P2, which was this was it before, you had to put it in a question, and then you got your answer. So for 1C, we learned about the meaning of standard temperature and pressure, and that stands for STP, which is 1 mole equals 22.4 liters. We also put this into a equation, and how I learned how to do most of these was the picket fence way, which was what our freshman year was, and that's pretty much what we all did most of the year. So I pretty much understood it, and what you did was you would again find the numbers you were looking for, put it in an equation, solve it, and then put it in an answer form. For 1D, we learned about how to convert Celsius to Kelvin. Celsius, it's the freezing point. It cannot be used in a compound gas law, and to find Kelvin from Celsius, you would add 273. For Kelvin, it's this, the scale goes to absolute 0. It can be used in combined in a combined gas law, and you would subtract 273. That's really important that you know how to, if you need to subtract or add, because you would get the wrong answer if you did it opposite. An example is 160 Kelvin. You would subtract 273, and you would get 113 Kelvin. And for this, 186 plus 273 is 469. And then you would put, that's disgusting handwriting, but you know what I'm talking about. So, yes, that's how you do that. And then finally 1E, which is ideal gas laws. And again, you would use the picket fence method. And It's called pervert? I don't know. Pipnert. Okay,
Yeah.
so P stands for absolute pressure, V stands for volume, N stands for gas, R stands for gas constant, and T stands for absolute temperature. And again, just like the other, you would do the picket fence lesson and put your answer into the question. Yes. Thank you for watching. Any questions?
Yes, that entire slide.
I don't know. I just looked up some baby animal. Oh, still going.